Hello, my name is Gloria and I'm from the Republic Democratic of Congo. I'm a Congolese patriot and I stand with my country in good and bad times. And I'm here to tell you about what's happening in Congo. Because I know most of you does not know what's happening because the media is being censored when we talk about Congo. I was born in Congo and raised in Congo. And I was born in a genocide and I was raised in it, and it's still active till now. Women are raped. Kids are raped, men are killed, and children are working in the mining industries without any payments, with no human rights, and with no food. We've had enough, and we are asking for freedom now. We are asking for peace. Lumumba did not die for nothing. We want to be independent. We've received independence, but we are not independent. We are not free. Women are killed. I've lost family members. I've lost cousins. I've lost friends. I've lost many people, and let's not even count them. 12 million people have died in this genocide and more to count. Many have been kidnapped. Many are just lost. We don't even know where they are. And what kind of life is this? We are please asking you to share and talk about what's happening in Congo. We have to unite, because if it's only the Congolese people talking about what's happening in Congo, there is nothing that will happen to help the Congo. So we are asking you, the international people, we are asking everybody to talk about what's happening in Congo. Put yourself in our shoes and think about it. We did not choose to be born in that country. But anyways, we're still happy to be in that country, but we need to be free. We need to have peace. Women should be living in security. Children should have their parents, just like parents should have their children. They should live in peace, have a good place to stay, and not be even scared of anything. So please, we are asking you to share the information, put yourself in our shoes, and talk about what's happening there. We will really be thankful. Thank you.
Greetings everyone. I hope you are fine. I hope you are doing well. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for everything. And I will appreciate if you can just smash that like button, that subscribe button, like never before. I just want to start off by saying our sister here is very sad. You can tell by her facial expression that indeed she is sad because of what is happening in her own country. She even thinks about the ancestor Patrice Lumumba. You have to know that in most cases, when we come to that point whereby we think about our forefathers, our ancestors, is because we can feel the pain. In most cases, it's when we feel the pain. And I like the fact that she has stated that they are not independent, they are not free. And I believe that the entire Africa is not yet independent, is not yet free. But I just want to be specific about what is happening in Democratic Republic of Congo. You have to note something, that when there's no stability in a family, everyone will always do as they please. In other words, in this family, everyone might bring like a boyfriend, bring a girlfriend into this home. Even the father might bring the concubines and etc. Then in this family, you will see that there's a confusion. There's confusion. People are always fighting against one another. There's no respect. Why? Because there's no foundation. There's no stability. In other words, even people from outside will take advantage of this family. Why? Because they can see that there's no stability, there's no foundation. Even the man of the house is out of order. Then as a result, everybody takes advantage. But here's the thing, we have to bear in mind that DRC is one of the rich countries in Africa when it comes to minerals. When it comes to minerals. But here's the thing, we have those states that are always preaching about democracy, that are always preaching about human rights, and so forth and so forth. And they're not saying that much about what is happening in DRC. They're not saying anything at all. In most cases, they're not saying anything about what is happening in DRC. But they are good when it comes to preaching about democracy, human rights, and etc. But if you look what is happening in DRC, children are being treated unfairly, being used as laborers, and women are being treated unfairly as well. But people are not saying anything. Those human rights preachers are not saying anything at all. Many people are quiet. Even African politicians are just a bit quiet about what is happening. What is happening in DRC. They talk more about Palestine and what is happening in other countries. But they're not saying much about what is happening in DRC. And now we have our sister here. This is so sad because she even thinks about the ancestor, Patrice Lumumba. Because Patrice Lumumba was like Ibrahim Traore. He was for his own people. He was in defense of his own people. But he had to be disappeared. He had to be disappeared. So right now, because now the family of Congo lacks stability. Why the family of Congo lacks stability? It's because the head of the family, in other words, the leadership, is out of order. The leadership is not interested in serving the family, but is interested in submitting and serving those who are outside. So if a state or if a country acts like that, then there's going to be a confusion here. There's going to be a confusion. Then people will start fighting against each other. If children are working in all these mines without being paid, working for free, then there's something wrong. Then it means those who take the minerals, they give a certain share to certain people who are playing a role or who are contributing towards this confusion. In other words, this is an agreement. This is an agreement between the system and the puppets and the thieves. Because even the thieves are like, we have to cause confusion as well, because if we don't do so, we won't get anything. So at the end of the day, everybody should get their own percentage. At the expense of what? At the expense of the society. Why? Because the family is in confusion. So if the family is in confusion, everybody wants to become a leader. Everybody wants to have a certain percentage when it comes to these benefits. So right now, the majority are being excluded. The majority are being excluded because you have to understand that in Congo, there are those who are fighting for freedom genuinely, but there are those who are being opportunistic of the confusion, because if there's confusion, then it means I can maybe benefit through this confusion. And again, the leadership is in mess. So at the end of the day, there has to be a compromise whereby everybody should get a share so that those who are outside can continue getting what? Can continue getting their own minerals, what they want, because what they want is minerals. So as long as there's this confusion, then they will continue getting minerals at a lower price. They'll continue getting minerals the way they want to. This is what they want. So that is why there's a lot of confusion. But now you ask yourself why these people aren't saying, but there's a problem here. We cannot come to this country and take minerals like this as long as there's no stability. There has to be a stability first in this country before we can work together, because we have to trade together in peace. Why they're not doing so? It's because they know that if a country doesn't have law and order, then you can in other words, you can do as you please. You can do as it's a win for you, because you will get certain things at the lowest price, ever. That is why there's no stability in Democratic Republic of Congo. You need a good leader. You need a good leadership. But this democratic system has programmed our minds to think like someone like Ibrahim Traore is a dictator. Why? Because in our minds we are full of democracy, and we think like, okay, this guy is a dictator. So right now, as we speak, DRC needs someone like Ibrahim Traore. DRC needs someone like Ibrahim Traore, someone who will be in charge, someone who will say everything has to happen in order, someone who will bring law and order, someone who will make sure that they enforce trading rules and all those things that are necessary to benefit the community of Democratic Republic of Congo. Because the most important thing here is the safety. If there's no safety, if there's no stability, if there's no good education, proper infrastructure, and all those things, then everybody will do as they please. But I always say the problem of Africa is us. Why am I saying this? It's because someone who is treating these women unfairly is someone who looks like me. Someone who is forcing these kids to work without any payment, without any food, is someone who looks like me. Why? Because their focus is on the shares that they get as a result of collaborating with the system. But the system won't come by itself to say, here am I. I'm here to do 1, 2, 3. Why? Because they want to appear holy. Since they want to appear holy, they have to use me so that I can use this weapon against my brother, against my sister, so that I can treat my sister unfairly, so that at the end of the day, the system is not being blamed. I always say the problem of Africa is us. Loving yourself is something which is very significant, something which is very important. If you love yourself, you cannot compromise this. If you look at history, this is what Patrice Lumumba was fighting for. And since then, people have been taking advantage of the Democratic Republic of Congo until now. As our sister has just said, that she grew up or she was born in the very same situation and is still happening until today. Where are the preachers of democracy? Where are the preachers of human rights? This is a clear sign that this democracy thing might be a scam.